allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
I'm going to make a motion right off the bat to rescind the motion and let Jim, since he's back on board, run the meeting and bow to the elder statesman.
I'll second that.
I'll third it.
But I might as well do something
That's right. Well, I'm good for another 100,000 miles.
There
you go.
He's bionic now.
You got it. Okay.
Mr. Barber?
Here.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas, Deputy Supervisor. Mr. McDonald is excused. Our attorney, Mr. Favreau. Tyler Jarvis, our Deputy Highway Superintendent. Our zoning officer, Mr. Gwyneth. Our dog control officer, Chaka. Our historian, Helen Nursta. Our highway superintendent, Mike Farrell. Our confidential secretary to the board, Pamela Barber, welcome back. Almost, we're getting there, right, kiddo? And Mr. Tacho, our highway water superintendent.
And this,
And Mrs. Marino is excused tonight. It's the start of the mini mites or mites tonight. So she did send a email, correct?
yes, she did. I got a text.
Okay.
She sent an email.
Okay.
Yes, you know, before where we start, I said to you, I'd like to take it because it's, this is 9/11, and I'd like to do a moment of silence. Never should we forget what had happened that day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Douglas.
Okay, motion discussion to accept the report for all departments, water, sewer, Valcor, highway, town clerk, law control, youth department, code, zoning, supervisors report, board, website, JCO, and the banking report.
Make the motion.
Mr. Bruno,
I'll second.
Mr. Irwin.
Do we need to change the dog control's title to animal control now that I see horses on there, and donkeys and pigs?
I don't know, that's up to him. He's wearing the hat.
Now we're into horses, man?
Hey, Jackie, it's up to you. You're wearing the hat.
You have a lasso now? I have a lasso.
Okay, motion carried. All right, we need a motion to approve the minutes for the public hearing of August 28th. We'll do that one first.
I'll make it. Think I can make that? 2 seconds?
Mr. Bruno, all in favor?
Aye.
And now we need a motion for the regular meeting of the August 28th.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Bruno,
Second.
Mr. Irwin, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, community input.
Anything? None?
Was
Okay.
there, Pam, did anybody sign it?
No, not
Okay.
Bill. Not
All
Bill.
right.
Carl just looked for me.
Carl,
Thank you.
thanks, Carl.
I was listening to Courtney, tink, 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 tink.
Oh, what's that? Never mind. Wow. Okay, there's a resolution and the discussion for that local law number 2, 2023, to exceed the cap, and that's the public hearing that we just had.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Mr. Bruno and Mr. Barber.
A resolution to adopt local law number 2 of 2023 to exceed the tax levy limit established in general municipal law section 3-C. Whereas the town board of the town of Peru is anticipating that the budget for the fiscal year of 2024 will require a real property tax levy in excess of the tax levy limit as defined by general municipal law section 3-C. Whereas the public hearing concerning said local law was duly advertised in the Press Republican, the official newspaper of the town. And whereas the public hearing on said proposed local law number 2 was held at the town hall on Monday, September 11th at 5:45, where all parties in attendance were allowed an opportunity to voice comments for or against said law. Whereas the town board of the town of Peru, after due deliberation, finds that it is in the best interest of the town to adopt said local law number 2 of 2023. Resolved that introductory local law number 2 for the year 2023, entitled a local law to override the tax levy limit, established in general municipal law section 3-C, and the same is hereby adopted as local law number 2 of 2023. Give notice of the adoption of said local law to the Secretary of State. Resolved, this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Mr. Garber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
And Mr. McDonald is excused.
I have a question for you, Diane.
Whoop.
Excuse me?
What happens to the local law when we don't use it?
It's just,
It stays on the records forever?
yeah, and what happens is that if somebody wants to come back, well, where's your local law? And who's the gentleman, Knight? He asked, remember he asked, he came in and he wanted the whole directory of the local law.
Yeah, cool.
Knight from, or the insurance guy?
Nymer.
Oh, 9.
Nymer.
Oh, 9.
Yeah, so they come in and check to make sure that all the i's are dotted and t's crossed, so they're all in my office. And, you know, like I didn't get 2 back from last year yet. They're sitting on somebody's desk at the state, so I just sent them a letter saying I never got a confirmation that these were accepted. Because you have to, you know.
Yeah.
So, but they're sitting on someone's desk, right? Are they sitting on somebody's desk, John, like the bingo? It only took us, almost 2 years.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, number 8, a motion and a discussion, Telegraph Road culvert temporary or permanent repair. Mike?
Yeah, I talked about this last month and was finally able to get the blueprints kind of blow up. It's just a 2-page thing and I had them blown up at Staples. And at the last meeting when I did the walkthrough with James Bragg from CNS Engineer, the preliminary price for that temporary was $200,000. I got a more accurate price back from him, it's $350,000 for that project. And my question was to him, you know, we spent $350, it needs to be done. No, there's safety wise, you know, if you take a walk down there, the outlet looks like a beach where the sand's coming out between the pipes or wherever it's coming from. Unless you pull all the road up, you're not going to really know. But if we turn around and get Bridge New York next year, then we kind of spent, in the taxpayers' eyes, $350. In their eyes, it's going to look like a waste, but it's not safety-wise. So I just need a direction to go. I had got a hold of DEC. They're going to do a site visit over this plan. We don't even know if it'll be allowed to start with, because it's basically the same thing we did on Parsons Road, just past Janet Elmer's, a double 4-footers there, but these are double 10-footers that are completely gone. But just go show you, I did find, I think Mel had asked, the Bridge New York 2 years ago was $999, just under $1 million.
Yep.
This year when they filed, it was $1.4 million. We keep kicking that can down the road, we're going to stop, we don't get it. So I just need to, you know, I don't know if you want to wait and see what DEC says, because it's still, that's just a preliminary drawing. If we decide to go with that stepper, it's got to go out for the permits and it's got to be designed for bidding purposes and all that.
What's the term, how many years?
It'll last several years.
No
You know,
guarantees.
but there's no guarantee of what his several is. And the big concern to me is, where's the sand coming from the backflow? Is it coming just on the edge of the pipes on the outlet side, which is not too bad, or is it coming from underneath? We've already seen, you know, on the lane going towards Keysville, when they pulled that blacktop, there was nothing under there for 2 foot by 15 foot long. And it sounds hollow on the next section that ties right into it, but it's hard to tell without pulling it up.
What's our other option?
Full replacement, which is $1.4 million, but it'll take a year for design, bid, permits, which I got them working on anyway, regardless if we.
We can't do the same thing where we got a hole and pour some cement in for?
No, this would be completely take them out, and it's, the structures are 26-foot wide, three-piece, or three-sided, it's basically a bridge, but it's called, but it's gonna be a bridge, it'll be turned over to the county, anything over 20 feet has to be a bridge,
So if we, what if we finance the 1.4, can we still put that towards the bridge in New York next year?
No, once it's paid, if you
Once
do
it's paid
it,
for,
you're done.
But the county will take it over.
We would sign it over to them, and then after that, we're done with.
And
But
If we were to do a temporary repair, could we sign it over to them then? And
No.
then it's their baby?
no,
Of course, they would take it.
no, I wouldn't.
See, that's the thing though, for me, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a lot of money, 1.4 million, but when you're talking 350,000 now. Now, did they say that we can wait and that?
No, it's gotta be done within a year, because
No,
that's what
but-
I'm saying is,
Yeah,
you know,
and
the
is that
temporary.
1.4, is that kinda locked in, or is it gonna?
That's this year price, it's gonna take a year for design, so I'm gonna assume you could probably figure at least 1.6, I would think next year.
and we've got to do something to secure that between now and.
Yeah,
Depending on-
and this is, if the DUC will, and that's what that kind of is secure, to stop the sand from going. It's leaving from the bottom, same thing as basically Telegraph was doing, the section we just did by Carl's brother.
You part of the design
Or
work?
Bill's brother, Carl.
Not on that one, on this, not on the county one, that's always been this, is it
Bridge
Sid?
in New York.
Yeah, you gotta, for Bridge New York, you have to go with the 5 engineering firms that are assigned to your area for Bridge New York. Engineer Ventures is not part of it. CNS is one of them. You had to grade them, and there were several to choose from, none from around here.
So if we start the design work and wait a year until we see if we get the Bridge of New York funding next year,
But what are you gonna do in temporary, or in the
you
meeting?
just told me it was good for a year.
Will the engineering outfit sign off and say, I think we can get by for a year
No,
if
they
you
will
guys
not.
are gonna do
They're
this?
not gonna sign off on that.
And that Carpenter's Flat is on schedule to be done in December.
Yeah, and we had that pre-bid on Cook Road. Walt was there, their bid, that's Lux project.
I'm just
That
thinking-
started 22 days late, when it was supposed to, so they've been held up because of the painters. They got lucky, painters aren't gonna charge anymore, because he said they work 7 days a week at 12-hour days, the painters are not gonna charge Luck any extra.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
in
they had
terms
that
of
outside.
traffic on that bridge, is what I was thinking of from the detour.
Yeah, and that's pounding our end for sure.
Right.
A lot of people going through it, and, you know, like I said, the last meeting, it's all tables notice at their end too. But I did ask that question, but they will not give me an answer. They're not gonna guarantee anything.
But if we have to close it, we can't close it until December.
I mean, you know, I don't have a problem with, see if DC comes out, and I can meet with them next week, and they look at that and say, no, you can't do it, because it's still gonna have to be approved by the Army
Yeah,
Corps
well,
regardless.
let's wait for that, for sure.
And then, you know, and I feel better if Randy was back in, all 5 of us, make a decision, to be honest with
Yeah,
you. If it gets to that point, and I think it is, I'll close the road. I got the power to do that if it gets to that point.
yeah, for
Just,
sure.
you know, the school buses are running now, so that's,
Yeah.
makes you a little nervous.
Okay, let's wait
Will
till.
you be ready for
Get with
next
the
meeting
DC.
then? Meet with them?
Yeah, but she thought she could meet me next week, but it's not, I'll wait.
Mike, what's the speed through there?
What's that?
What's the speed through there?
55.
Would it be good to slow them down?
DOT's gotta approve that. You gotta go through the whole, you gotta do a board resolution. And the odds of them, to be honest with you, it's been turned down before, so, you know, you gotta have bad wrecks.
But
Where-
they've
where
been,
you-
That's what I'm trying
Where
to.
are you worried the sand's?
But
You
they
put the
can-
asphalt in the culvert, you think it's washing?
Yeah, we don't honestly know where it's coming from. It just comes out.
I don't know. And-
No, you got nothing to do with this one.
But
It's
you
my-
might know, would ground penetrating radar show that?
I don't know, to tell you the truth, you know, there's
I've
a
never
couple
used
different-
it, but the city of Plattsburgh has it, I'm pretty sure, you call Mike Bissett, I don't know if that's something they can run over it.
I could talk
Tell
to
you,
them, but.
I've never
I just
used
talked
it,
to them.
but I'm pretty sure they have it. For looking for water lines and stuff, I don't know if it would show. It's worth a shot to ask him.
Well, let's put everything for the next meeting, Mike, and we'll see where we stand with it,
Yeah,
hopefully with the
okay.
DEC, and then we'll make a
Add that
decision.
and all the information by then, right?
Well, if she comes out, if she don't come out, then we're gonna be just what we are doing.
Okay.
And that's only one, and if you said the Army Corps would have to sign off too. DEC is gonna be a lot easier to get.
In the Army Corps. Okay. Any other questions, guys, on that, or? You good? Okay, number 9, we got a resolution to accept the Corn Drive extension as a town road. Any motion?
I'll second it.
Mike,
Mr. Barber?
reading all your specs.
That's that.
A resolution recommending the acceptance of the Corn Drive extension as a town road and authorizing the supervisor to execute the same. Whereas the town of Peru Highway Superintendent Michael Farrell has regularly inspected the build out of the Corn Drive extension, requested corrections, and has since found that it has been built as per the town highway specifications. Therefore, be it resolved that the Corn Drive extension be accepted as a town road, and therefore the town will take over maintenance of the same. And be it resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Sorry.
That's
Mr. Erlen?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
And Mr. McDonald is excused.
All right. Motion carried. Okay. Number 10. We've got a motion here to accept the 2024 budget workshop. Ms. Barber has got a schedule here for us. You guys want to take a look at it? Does it look like we can all?
I looked at it on my email, and it looked good then, and it looks good now.
And let's hope so, because it's going in the paper on Wednesday.
Well, nobody answered not.
All right, nobody answered.
I think I might have been the only one who answered yes, but
No, Ricky, actually.
Ricky, yeah, Rick did, that's right.
Okay,
Only because he knew I was gonna ask him when he came in my
so we need a motion on that,
I made the motion.
Mr. Bruno and Mr. Barber. Okay. Motion carried, thank you.
All in favor, aye.
Thanks, Pam.
I'd rather have more time after I get these guys in.
Yeah.
So that's why I put Courtney in that same week.
You're the budget officer, you're driving this ship, so.
Run through, Pam.
So you mean they're gonna come
Sorry?
hunt me down?
I did.
It means if they don't get what they want, it means if they don't get what they want, they're after your scale.
You guys are the ones making the decision.
We got your back, don't you worry.
You betcha.
Always have.
Okay, number 12, I got this resolution to approve.
No, we gotta call for the special meeting.
Oh. You do?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is there a resolution?
No, there's not a resolution, it's a motion for September 18th.
So we just start with each one and do one?
No, we just have to call for a special.
Just a special meeting, just.
Okay.
Motion for a special meeting for September 18th.
Go ahead.
Okay, we got a motion for
I'll
a
make a
special
motion
meeting?
for a special meeting on September 8th, or,
Okay.
yeah, September 18th.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Barber. Okay, motion carried.
And then the highway budget will be immediately after?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Mike, you're gonna be all set? Yes?
Mine's already in.
Better be.
There you
Put
go.
the red pen away and bring out the blue ink.
Yeah, there you go.
Never mind.
All right,
Bring out the
number
white
12, I got this resolution to approve the prepayment of soccer uniforms from Finney Ford Sports. I need a motion.
I make the motion.
Mr. Bruno.
I'll second.
Mr.
And I'll just say, I was the one that was the magic, I called it the magic, because Andy, they had a fire and all that kind of stuff, and I just wanted this stuff paid for. And so, that's the reason why, and they didn't get the invoices until Wednesday night after we closed everything out.
That's
So
fine.
that was the reason why I asked for it.
Okay,
Okay?
I was wondering why I was on it, thank you.
Yeah, that was the reason why we'd already closed everything out.
Okay, thanks, Dan.
Okay.
A resolution to purchase and prepaid the 2023 soccer uniforms from Finney Sports by the Town of Peru Youth Department. Whereas the Town of Peru, Town Board, and Peru Youth Commission has found a need to purchase new soccer uniforms by the Youth Department for the 2023 youth soccer season. The town did not receive the invoice in time to be scheduled in the September 11, 2023 bill paying abstract, and whereas the invoice received was $5,187.00. Whereas it has been determined that to make Finney Sports wait until the next check run at the end of the month will put undue hardship on the supplier. Therefore, they are requesting this invoice be pre-approved and the check come to the September 11, 2023 check run and be approved on September 25th, 2023 bill pay abstract. Be resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately, and the town supervisor is authorized to sign all paperwork to execute the purchase as soon as possible.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald is excused.
Motion carried. Number 13, other business. You want to start over there with Tyler, you want to be first on the agenda?
Sure.
Not much really changed from last meeting. We're still, getting, John Boswell finished up for paving. Starting to get trucks in for winter time. Got it. Owen, I think he just finished today on his second cut. So,
Things are good.
yeah, things are going good.
Good job, Tyler.
Good job.
The only thing I have is, Jim, I'm just gotta say, I'm really happy that you're doing well. I think
Thank
we
you.
all are. And I just wanna give you a round of applause, man.
Chaga.
Nothing really. I went out of town on Saturday till Sunday. Didn't realize Brandy was still gone. I left him a message, and then of course 1,000 calls came in. But it actually worked out better than I missed them.
Did you catch the horse?
Well,
No,
one set
that's
of
good.
people caught some dogs, and the other people who needed the people wanted it back. Well, if I had actually coordinated, I could have coordinated that. But they ended up taking me to Elmore, and it turns out there might be some abuse involved. So, like I said. If they call it, I was after service, and call it through, and like, oh, here's them, here's them. They were just doing it.
Ricky is always the backup to Brandy, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Boy, I like the way he volunteers.
Yeah. All's good though, otherwise.
Good, thank you. Thank you, you're doing a great job.
Mel and I are too old to chase dogs.
Alan?
I have three things. First, I'll be at AppleFest this weekend. So we'll have a table there for the story.
Nice.
I was asked by the Peru Central School Board to be a community partner in a grant they're going after for mental and physical health, equity, and engagement. And I said, sure, we'll see. Sounds interesting. They wanted the history part, to be part of this grant, so I'm going to do that. And I'm working with Greg Badger, the artist Greg Badger. There are 3 locations in Peru that might be where we might be able to put up murals. And I'm sort of working with him. You'll hear more about that because you want to know where, no doubt, and what. And so we're deciding what we think might work and how to do that and how to get a grant for that. So there are some opportunities for artists to get grants themselves. So
Thank you.
yeah, it's really one of the ideas is, of course my vision is the hardware store, and you drive into Peru and there you see our story right on the hardware store, the fact that so many things happened, the Battle of Valcour, our Mother Green Shrine, the Quaker Union, Macomb Park, Apples Dairy. Wow, we've got a real story that you can just tell in pictures and people would see who we were. So that's my vision. I'm not the artist, so.
He's pretty good at it.
Yeah,
Yes, he's very good at it.
Wonderful job down there.
All right. Mike?
The repair nightmares continue. Oh, I can't wait for 2024. It's gotta be a better year. The E truck, which I talked about last week, which is a win of the 7 that we just sold on Options International, is back down to Jimmy Rops. The coolant lines that come out of the block were all rotted to the point they pulled right through. One broke off trying to get it out of the side of the block. So it's been a nightmare for parts and stuff this year. Like that was said, we're trying to finish up John Boswell. I got that back. We're now probably going to do around 3,000 just to start to stay under the paving budget. I did get a call last Thursday. Tyler and myself on October 3rd are going to the Lake George Salt Summit. I was asked to speak again at Salt Summit. Lisa gave me 3 weeks notice instead of calling at 10 o'clock at night the night before on our progress on our first year. After talking to Phil Section, he's going to look. He thinks we met the first step of being certified for salt reduction, which was my goal, to get certified, completely certified. We will, as soon as we catch up to John Boswell, we'll start, I guess, culverts, replace if we got culverts. If I don't have them in the yard, I can't replace because we're tight this year on the budget. So we'll do that. We'll get the big tank mounted. I gotta have that mounted by December anyway, to get our $1,500 grant we got from Clinton County Soil and Water. Then we'll start switching the trucks over to, unfortunately, winter plow season, but it is coming. So we'll get there. The new tractor, finish second round. I'm gonna forego third round. We're the only town that does third round. It's going up, the bucket's sitting there and all that. They're gonna get that stuff mounted and fix the windshield, and if we get it back, if it's not up there too long, then we will do a third round. But he's completed 2 rounds in Old Town. So that's where we are in that. And said I did finally, last Thursday, got the permit from the Army Corps of Engineers for Cook Road. We had to do a little weaseling. Mark come up with a pretty good idea from Engineering Ventures. If we didn't touch the trees, we can jostle the culvert a little bit, the box culvert. That satisfied him, and he called, he was satisfied with it. We're going to dig right through the ropes. The trees are probably going to die after the fact, but we got our permit, so.
Mark's a good weasel, isn't he?
Yeah, so that's what.
Good job. Now you're a beaver.
That's what I got.
Mike, you and I talked last week, you were looking into the cameras for the salt.
Yeah, the remote, like I said, we're all set. It's with NICIC, but it's, the lady, it's all approved with a $120 year fee, but we still do not have permission from the higher up at NICIC, even though we got a signed contract to mount it. But that's an $8,000 subscription between that and the salt trackers that in the truck. If it gets to that point, I'm putting them on poles. I'm not going to spend $8,000, I can sit in the office.
Good idea.
It's just to that, because it's all, we got an agreement, it's all signed, we've signed it, they've signed it, but it's somebody higher up in Binghamton got to say, go ahead and put them on. It's, thing weighs 10 pounds or 14 pounds, it's not like it's a big deal. They got to charge 10 hours, the solar panels, which I'll take home and put them on my back deck, because I don't want to leave them outside in front of the garage, fairly expensive. We had Todd.
Whereabouts on your back deck?
What's that? At one point I thought, we buy a little sign and put above them, town approved salt reduction, but I'm more I thought about it, worried about that bring attention to somebody be stealing. I mean, they're 14 foot up, but they bring a step ladder or whatever they can get to them easily now. So we tried to, I tried to place them in the worst spot, Smart Hill, up in the end of Strackville, drifting on Union Road, stuff like that. They catch those errors, and I got them in front of a house if I could, but, if they come in the middle of the night, somebody's probably not going to hear them, so. That's where we are then. They've been sitting on the floor waiting for NICEC for a year.
Good.
Over a year.
Go ahead, stop them.
Mike, something
Nope.
else? Good. Pamela?
Nope.
The budget's going good, are you? You coming right along with them?
I've been working on it.
I
Concert season over, Pam?
Concerts are over.
Good job.
One thing, as long as you brought that up, we really need to put some actual signs up that there's no alcohol and no tobacco products there, because it's on the flyers, it's on everywhere else but down there, and there were people that I had to ask not to drink or smoke, probably 4 different times, not the same people, but I don't want to
They
be
don't
the,
care.
I don't want to be the police department down there.
Oh, boy.
I mean, they were all fine, they said,
Courtney, we have some of them, don't we?
There used to be one down there, probably got ripped off, but why don't we have the bands announce it before they start?
Yeah, do that too. We'll still get a sign.
well,
You and I, we talked about that.
but if we
We
could
did
still.
used to have a sign down there, but they ripped them off.
Yeah.
We could put another one, but.
Do both.
Yeah,
Actually, I think it was the same sign that's out here. We had one
Yeah,
there, we
that
had one
was
at
just
Gazebo,
tobacco.
we had
But-
tobacco free.
Yeah, but we also need one for alcohol, because there was, I think, 3 different times that I caught people drinking. And it wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
Jealous.
I was.
I was bringing APA down there,
Just
but.
gonna want to bring it in a different ball. That's
Yeah,
all I do.
yeah.
Under this month.
Thank you, Pam. We'll do the best to take care of that next year.
That it, Ms. Martin? Thank you. Courtney, you're up.
I'm good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Sweet. Rick?
Yeah, Helen asked me about the Battle of Valcourt commencement, October 11th. It's going to be from 4:30 to 5:30 at Clint Community College. There's a number of dignitaries that are going to be speaking at it, and she would like this town board to have a couple of attendees, if we could get some guys to go down. I'm going to be there. And I said I would present this at a meeting to see if we couldn't get a few more. Since the battle did take place in Peru, she would like to see some Peru attendees there.
What was the time on that?
4:30 to 5:30, October 11th.
It's always October 11th.
And that's at Quincy.
You want a verbal commitment now, or can we give you one in a little bit? Okay. Are they gonna announce the dignitaries, so you gotta have our names there early or something?
We'd like one person on the agenda to say a few words.
There you go.
I've got,
I was gonna ask if there's any speech given, because you know, then I'm probably in for sure.
Just 30 seconds worth of.
30 seconds.
I thought it
Well,
was
because it's our
Can
territory.
you give my name in 30 seconds?
today.
Wrong month, right?
Yeah, it was.
Sorry about that, Rick.
Yep. Billy Jones,
So the 11th is a Wednesday.
Mike Cashman,
Rick Barker.
Is that correct? The 11th is a Wednesday?
Stan Ransom,
It's always the
Ed
11th of
Scowen.
October.
Okay.
From the battle.
Sounds good. I'll try to make it. As long as Rick's gonna be giving a little speech, I know.
It'd be my goodbye speech.
Adios, amigo.
I'll go for that.
Something else?
No, I'm good.
I'll be the heckler. You can't leave.
You good?
Thank you, Rick.
How about you?
I'm in the rare and uncomfortable position of having to agree with Bob. I think it's great to see Jim and Pam back here and looking so healthy. I don't think Pam even took a day off from what I can tell from emails, so I don't know how you guys do it, but good job both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Definitely, I'll agree with that.
Thank you. Now?
I had forgotten about it, but wanted to thank Courtney and Helen called me the other night. We had somebody threw a rock through the schoolhouse window.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, went down there, and Courtney's man went down, fixed it the day after, I think it was. I did call state police, report the incident, ask them to try to patrol that, keep their eyes open. So, just make everybody aware it's happening.
Thank you. That's it. Mr. Bruno?
I'm good, thank you, Mr. Douglas, glad to see you at the helm.
Thank you. I just want to say I'm glad to be back. That's a trip I don't want to take again, boy. But thank you, and I want to thank everybody, the cards, the prayers, the whole 9 yards. Really, thank you very much.
It's a lot for a hair transplant surgery, huh?
Yeah, you can say that again. All right. Now, number 14 is public comments on agenda items only. John, you have anything?
Nope.
No? Good. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, number 15, we need a resolution to pay the bill. Need a motion?
I'll make it.
Mr.
Second.
Barber? Mr. Bruno?
A resolution authorizing the post-audit payment of certain claims, bills, and invoices of the town. Whereas the town board has reviewed and audited the following claims, bills, and invoices for services rendered and goods provided to the town in September 2023. The town approved vouchers of September 2023, number 2023-01242, through and including number 2023-01319, abstract dated 9/6/2023. Excuse me, for the dollar amount totaling $130,342.14. Of that, $62,114.13 was wired, credit cards, and prepaid, and $68,195.01 is remaining to be paid. Whereas the town board finds said claims, bills, and invoices to be acceptable to former reasonable amount, and therefore be resolved the payment of the aforementioned claims, bills, and invoices is approved, and the supervisor being hereby is authorized to make such payment, be it further resolved, this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Earl?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
And Mr. McDonald is excused.
Motion carried.
Yeah,
Okay.
Them are good totals, let's keep them like that every month.
Oh, that's 2 weeks, that's why, buddy. We did 1 month last month, that's why, sweetie pie.
There you go. Number
Sorry, honey.
16, we got to, need a motion to adjourn to executive session pending litigation.
I'll make it.
Mr. Barber? Mr. Earl?
6:38.
I'd ask that, entertain Mark, we're in here in Ventures.
Yep.
Come in.
Yep, that's fine. Thank you.